Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God, keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Amen. It's been Yehuda, man. High levels, bro, high as could be. Word to Rastafari, there's a holler in me. Every morning when I wake up, spend time on my knees. No sneezing necessary, the blessings received. Who lesser than me? Not a soul. We all got it and passed on it like common codes. I got tired of blowing it like a snotty nose. When will He return? Nobody knows. So I plant my seeds daily and water the field. There's a lot of people out here ignoring He real. Putting money before Him wasn't part of the deal. So I was being popular for a part of His meal. Feed me, Ezekiel, no Elliot. Heaven sent in the world full of these Hellenists. These Greek lovers, these genociders, these terrorists. The book's burning, give us another Exodus. I wanna see my people prosper.
You know, we have ones that's a Rastafari, live in the city, Kingston City, Manhattan,
Yeah.
like I, you know. We live amongst our universal brothers and sisters, and Rastafari is for each and every one. So it's not this weird thing where you have to live in the forest, no. But you have ones that live in the forest and they hold an order for the ones like I who can come in now and hold our meds and come to these places and remove ourselves from that type of way and still come find our brothers in the midst of the jungle as well as in the city. Exactly. So it's a brotherhood throughout universe. Yeah, iPhones included, cameras included, cars included, planes,
everything,
palace, huts, rivers, ocean, the whole thing, huh?
And the thing about it too as well is that Rastafari is not a cult, yes?
No.
So we're not looking for more followers to say, hey, everyone have to come and be Rastafari. No, we're looking at people and their heart.
We are all about love.
Now, if ones haven't been keeping up with a lot of the tankers or the great shipment and logistics ships that are out in the Persian Gulf and much of the works that have been coming out from this U.S. administration, a lot of the responses in Europe as well as Asia and the Middle East, will catch ones up on this report here coming from Newsweek. U.S. struggles to get help from Europe as Iran plans military moves with Russia and seeks support from China. This coming from July 30th, 2019 from a one Tom O'Connor. And reads on as such: the United States has officially asked Germany to join the United Kingdom and France in a naval coalition designed to secure the strategic waters near the Persian Gulf amid tensions with Iran, which recently signed on to closer military cooperation with Russia. A spokesperson for the U.S. Embassy in Berlin said that President Donald Trump's administration has formally asked Germany to join France and the UK to help secure the Straits of Hormuz and combat Iranian aggression. In remarks first carried Tuesday by Germany's Deutsche Presseagentur and confirmed by Reuters, they continued, members of the German government have been clear that freedom of navigation should be protected. Our question is, protected by whom? The remarks came after Washington and London made separate calls for a heightened international presence to patrol the world's most important oil choke point at the site of recent unrest involving international tankers and drones. Neither Paris nor Berlin have publicly committed to either initiative, however, and German Social Democrat Hans-Peter Bartels, the parliamentary commissioner to the armed forces, told newspaper Süddeutsche Zeitung Monday that the Navy is operating at its limits, and such a commitment would be at the expense of other alliance commitments. In response to these remarks, the U.S. Embassy in Berlin on Tuesday tweeted, "Suggestion: the largest economy in Europe could buy more ships." The three European powers alongside the European Union joined China and Russia in signing a 2015 nuclear deal forged by the U.S. and Iran, and have continued to back the agreement even after Trump pulled out last year, imposing sanctions and setting off newfound frictions between the Islamic Republic and the West. In the face of Washington's unilateral restrictions, Europe has struggled to normalize trade ties with Tehran, compelling it to restart uranium enrichment above restricted levels. While Iran has always denied seeking nuclear weapons and the International Atomic Energy Agency had repeatedly verified its compliance with the deal, the Trump administration has remained skeptical, taking signals from close Middle East allies such as Israel and Saudi Arabia. On the other hand, China and Russia have mostly blamed the U.S. for bringing the region toward crisis as it expanded its military presence in the region and blamed Iran for explosions targeting oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman since mid-May. Tehran has denied involvement in the incidents, but it would be in this same body of water, also called the Sea of Oman, as well as the nearby Indian Ocean, that Iranian Naval Chief Riyadh Admiral Hossein Khanzadi revealed Monday that his forces joined their Russian counterparts for drills, expected to take place soon in the northern Indian Ocean, which flows into the Sea of Oman, the Strait of Hormuz, and also the Persian Gulf. The commander made the remarks after signing the memorandum of understanding largely concerning defense ties that he said may be considered as a turning point in relations of Tehran and Moscow. The drills were confirmed the following day by the Iranian Navy's Public Relations Department, which noted that some domestic media outlets have misunderstood and misconstrued Khanzadi's comments to suggest that the drills would take place in the Persian Gulf instead of the Indian Ocean and the Sea of Oman. Iranian Navy Admiral Parviz Salimi Panah told the local radio Goftegu outlet Tuesday that maritime security is very important in economic and strategic matters, and countries that are genuinely interested in maritime security will have a major impact on world peace, adding that Russia's presence will certainly be very effective. Moscow and Tehran have coordinated in joint efforts that helped Syrian President Bashar al-Assad turn the tide against a rebel and jihadi uprising once widely supported by the U.S. and Arab allies of the Arabian Peninsula, but now mostly sponsored by Turkey, with whom Iran and Russia work as part of a trilateral dialogue to end the war. Though both the U.S. and Iran work to defeat the Islamic State militant group, or ISIS, in Syria and neighboring Iraq, they have accused one another of supporting terrorism and attempting to destabilize the region. Also backing Assad politically was China, where Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif traveled Tuesday following more Iranian talks of a regional security approach with his Iraq and Oman. In a meeting between Zarif and Chinese Communist Party International Liaison Sun Tao, the two discussed the friendly relations between Iran and China in all fields, as well as the U.S. unilateral policy of violating the international law and regulations and Washington's attempts to impose its hegemony on the world. The same day, Iranian and UAE officials held a rare meeting on joint maritime cooperation, the first of its kind since 2013. Abu Dhabi, a close ally of both Washington and Riyadh, has recently distanced itself from their claims that Tehran was behind attacks on commercial vessels in the Gulf of Oman and has begun pulling some personnel from the Saudi-led war in Yemen against the Zaidi Shiite Muslim rebels that were suspected of receiving Iranian assistance. The EU, France, and Germany and the UK have attempted a more diplomatic approach than the US toward Iran in establishing a special trade vehicle meant to bypass US sanctions, but this channel remained largely limited to humanitarian transactions that did little to support the increasing isolated Iranian economy. London has also stepped up in confronting Iran, with the Royal Marines seizing an Iranian supertanker accused of transporting oil to the EU-sanctioned government in Syria via the Strait of Gibraltar. Earlier this month, one day after Trump claimed the U.S. Navy took out an Iranian drone, about a month after Iran's Revolutionary Guard shot down a U.S. Navy drone in the Persian Gulf region, Iranian naval forces stopped a UK-flagged ship, accusing it of endangering maritime traffic and breaking rules. Both ships remain in the custody of the other power. London's top diplomat and Iran's ambassador to the UK dismissed the idea of a swap. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo told Fox News Channel last week that the responsibility falls to the United Kingdom to take care of their ships. In recent days, he has also appealed for nations to join a maritime security initiative, including the U.S., through only South Korea appears to have openly expressed interest, and French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian said last week his country sought the opposite of the American initiative to impose Trump's maximum pressure against Iran. Asked Monday at the Economic Club of Washington, D.C., about what the U.S. planned to do next about the detained UK ship, Pompeo said he was working with the British to find a solution to both right that injustice and, second, prevent it from happening again, so to establish deterrence. That's the mission set.
Maybe my sovereignty will still be mine. If all the gangs in the world unify, we stand a chance against the military tonight.